welcome to another edition of Focus on Morris County, a program that's about your Morris County government. I'm Joe Garifo, Public Information Officer for the county government. On this segment of the program, we are going to take a look back at some of the Freeholder Board's accomplishments in 2013, and we're also going to look ahead to the current year, 2014, at some of the goals that the Freeholder Board has. And here to talk about those accomplishments and goals is my guest. He is Morris County Freeholder Director Tom Mastrangelo. Director Mastrangelo is in the first year of his second three-year term on the Freeholder Board. He is a Republican from Montville, and he was named by his colleagues to be Director of the Board here in 2014 for the second year in a row. Director, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning to you.
You've said that one of your goals this year involves implementing a freeze on the amount raised in taxes to operate the county government. Now, that was also a goal last year, a goal that the Freeholder Board achieved in 2013. What were some of the ways that the board did achieve that goal last year?
Yeah, Joe, we held the line. You know, all the department heads stepped up and really held the line on their, on their individual budgets within those departments. Secondly, we utilized the tools in the toolbox from what our governor has put in place through legislation. Utilizing those tools in the 2% cap legislation. We've been able to reduce health care costs. We've been able to reduce pension costs. And when you combined it, not only were we able to not reach the 2% cap that we could have reached, we were able to manage to a zero. And then we took it a step further. We actually dropped the county tax effort at the operating budget level by almost 2%, by a reduction in the open space tax, which equated to a $4 million reduction in open space. So we're proud of that budget, and we've done a good job in delivering the services to the county during 2013, and we're going to do that in 2014. Okay,
now fast forward to 2014. We should mention that as we're doing this program today, the 2014 operating budget is still a work in progress. So while you may not be able to be too specific, what are some of the ways that you're going to try to hold the line again here in 2014?
Sure, Joe. What we're going to do for 2014 is, implement the actions we took in 2013, as I just described, and we're going to look at other creative ways from a shared services standpoint to take more advantage of some of the shared services that we do have in place to drive even more cost savings out of those shared services. One of the other shared services that help drive down costs, not only for the municipalities but for the county, is our communication center, which we introduced a new communication center in 2013. We've actually brought on a couple new municipalities, and I anticipate we're going to bring on more municipalities. And as we do that, our cost structure will be economically feasible for the county, and will continue to drive costs down for the county.
Now, in terms of a capital budget, I know the freeholders have been intent on reducing capital spending. Why is that so important to this Freeholder Board?
Well, Joe, it's sort of like your own household. If you spend, and if you put it on a credit card, you create more debt. Okay, so our goal is to reduce the debt. We think that definitely does aid in the maintaining the AAA bond rating. But it's a balance, because we have capital projects that we have to deliver, necessary capital projects, and we will deliver those necessary capital projects. If you look at our roads, we've actually funded in 2013 $1.5 million to $2 million additional on top of what we've traditionally funded for roads. So we're setting our priorities on where we should be spending the money. We don't see any large projects in capital for 2014, so that's going to aid us in reducing that debt and maintaining that rating.
The county in 2013, last year, hired a chief information officer for the Office of information technology. And I know that your goal there was reducing spending in that area. How did that work out?
Sure. What we've done, Joe, going back a year and a half ago, we put a search out for a chief information officer, and one of the goals to do that was to have somebody who could operate that business, because it is a business, and that's the field, that's the industry that I'm in. I've been in for a long time, and I recognize that if we didn't do that, that we would have spending all over the county without a technology being under one umbrella. So what we've been able to do was to consolidate most of technology under the CIO, and start to consolidate systems, start to look at new technology such as virtualization, to reduce the number of the amount of infrastructure we have, but to create more efficiencies in our systems internally, in turn delivering services faster, quicker, and better to the taxpayer. And John Tugman, who's our CIO, has done a really great job in doing that.
And I assume that 2014 you're going to be pursuing the same avenue.
Well, we're pursuing the same avenue, and one of the things we are looking at, over the last couple of years, county government, we've been making it smaller through attrition. People have been leaving. Okay, we've outsourced in certain areas. I see in the technology area as an area that we could potentially outsource. I also see my vision is that we develop a shared services model, okay, to save costs at the county level and at the municipal level, where it could be a service that we do offer. There's some of the initiatives that are on the radar for the CIO, and I believe by the end of 2014, you will see a plan for outsourcing, and you will see a plan for shared services with the municipalities.
Let's stay
as
on
long
the
as they want as long as they want it.
Right, and that's key, because I know
That
the
is
county
key.
just doesn't come into a town and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. I mean, it's been like that with the communication center.
Right.
It'll be like that with information technology.
Right.
And many times municipalities approach the county wanting the county to perhaps share some services with them, and the area that comes to mind now is health services. I know the Freeholders just entered into an agreement with Morristown to have the county provide health services to Morristown. That's, I believe, one of about 3 or 4 towns that we do that with. Do you anticipate other shared services arrangements, maybe not in health services, but those kinds of things, towns come into the county and say, hey, can we partner in something like this?
Yeah, I do, Joe. Going back a few weeks ago, there was an article in the Star Ledger in regards to Senator Sweeney, who is looking at proposing legislation not for a 2% cap, but for a 0% cap. I think that will put immense pressure on municipalities. And when it does, shared services is going to accelerate. And the type of shared services that will be considered, I think, will be many. And I believe the county, with the municipalities here in Morris County, will need to work together now to get ready for that, in my view, legislation that will probably occur based on where Senator Sweeney is driving with his Democratic colleagues in the Senate and in the Assembly. So,
one of your roles as Freeholder Director is a liaison to economic development. That includes the Morris County Chamber, the Economic Development Corporation, the Morris County Tourism Bureau. What strides have been made in that area between the county and the private sector in terms of economic development? How have you worked together?
Yeah, we did a lot last year, Joe. One of the things that I developed with the Chamber was the quarterly meetings with the townships, with the mayors. So there are quarterly meetings now where the chamber brings the mayors in and they talk about their regional issues, their regional goals, and it's a good collaboration between the chamber, the municipalities, and the county, at least to have a forum to come up with thoughts, suggestions on how to grow the economy here in Morris County. We also had some pretty good successes last year. Bear moved to Whippany, and hence we have 2,500 jobs out of Whippany today. Siemens Medical announced last year that up in Mount Olive that they are going to expand their campus up in Mount Olive, which is going to bring another 400 to 500 jobs. Then you had Ferris Pharmaceutical, and Ferris is based in Parsippany, and they're redoing a new headquarters, and they're bringing in about 250 jobs. And there's other success stories here around the county. Morris County offers a great environment for business, and we've done very well in maintaining who we have. In 2014, as I did last year, I was out meeting with businesses around the county, and I plan to do that again. We want to know if any business, small or large, is planning to or contemplating to leave the county, and if they are, we want to make sure we can retain them, and we'll do that in conjunction with the Business Action Center down in Trenton. Kim Godagno, the Lieutenant Governor, that is under her bailiwick, and we've had the Lieutenant Governor up here several times, meeting with different businesses and welcoming new businesses here in the county. So,
well, Freeholder Director Tom Mastrangelo, I want to thank you very much for being with us. We've only really just scratched the surface of what is on the agenda for the Morris County Board of Chosen Freeholders here in 2014, but I'm sure you'll be back again, and we'll update our viewers on the progress being made. Thank you again.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Now, if you have a question about Morris County government that you would like to have answered, maybe something that we did not have a chance to discuss here, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office at 973-285-6010, and please visit the county government website, morriscountynj.gov. Once you're there, you can sign up for the county's electronic newsletter, Morris Connections. You can also check out all of the various social media that the Morris County government embraces. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, view past programs and informational videos on YouTube, browse through the county's document library on Scribd, and check out photos from various county events on Flickr. I'm Joe Garifo. Thank you very much for being with us, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
Are you pregnant, scared, or a new mother who can't care for your newborn?
There's a safe haven in New Jersey.
You or a friend can bring an infant to any hospital or police station and give up custody safely, legally, and anonymously.
No questions asked, no shame, no blame, no names.
Call 1-877-839-2339 or visit njsafehaven.org to learn more. Remember,
New Jersey has a safe haven for unwanted infants.
Brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Children and Families.
Welcome back to Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, and on this segment of the program, we are going to talk recycling, and we're going to provide you with some updated good news about recycling here in Morris County. And here to do that is my guest. She is Penny Jones. Penny is Recycling Education Specialist with the Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority. Penny, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joe.
Let me ask you about the Municipal Utilities Authority and the role that it plays in recycling here in Morris County. What exactly is its function when it comes to recycling?
Oh my goodness, we do all sorts of things. Well, we oversee, coordinate, advise, work with all 39 municipalities. We host quarterly recycling meetings with the recycling coordinators from the municipalities. We also provide curbside recycling collection to 15 municipalities. They participate in our single stream, all-in-one recycling program. And the recyclables from those municipalities go to Community Recycling in Mine Hill, with whom we have a public-private partnership. And also, our curbside people go to some municipalities to collect the recyclables that are at their recycling centers, and then they transport them to Re-Community Recycling. So those are just a few of the things that we do.
Now, Re-Community Recycling in Mine Hill, they have a facility there where all the recyclables go and what, are separated?
Yes, it's a processing
okay.
facility. They used to be known as FCR. They collected only bottles and cans.
Okay.
But now single stream recycling, they process the material.
Okay, and we're going to talk about single stream recycling in just a couple of minutes, but I mentioned that there is some good news in terms of recycling here in Morris County, and that is that recycling in the county is on the increase. Penny, how much of an increase are we talking about, and where do these figures come from?
Okay, well, in 2006, our recycling rate was 36%. And in 2011, the last year for which we have numbers, it was 47%. So that's an increase of 11%. And the way that the numbers are calculated is that every year each municipality is to submit a report to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection in which it documents how much material it has recycled. And then the DEP compares those figures to the amount of garbage that has been generated and comes up with a percentage. So we're doing quite well because the goal, the statewide goal, is 50%, though I'm not speaking for the MUA now, I'm speaking for myself. I hope that we can exceed that goal. No reason not to.
Well, we're at 46 already, you said?
47%.
47, okay.
47% in 2011.
Yes. Because
the figures, we don't have the figures for 2012 yet.
Now, does the MUA attribute the increase to anything in particular, or a combination of things, more education? What do you think?
Well, we think probably heightened awareness because of increased efforts with outreach, education, enforcement. Our municipal coordinators are doing a better job of acquiring the data that they need to put into their reports. And also garbage generation, because of the economic recession, has gone down somewhat, so we have to keep that in mind also.
Now, Penny Jones, you mentioned single stream recycling, and about 2 years ago, Morris County MUA introduced single stream recycling to the 15 communities that have contracts with the MUA for curbside collection. Is that true? So
yes.
What is exactly single stream recycling? What does that mean?
Well, I have a prop here. Now, I don't know if the camera will see this, but at any rate, here is a wastebasket that is full of what are single stream recyclables. Only a few examples. And Joe, just so you know, there are other municipalities that also have single stream recycling, but they're not part of our program.
Okay.
But basically it means that all the acceptable recyclable materials can be put into the same container, can be mixed together, whereas in the past, for the most part, bottles and cans were in one container and paper was in another, corrugated cardboard might be bundled, that sort of thing. So single stream, and what's critical is to say single stream recycling. This does not mean that one should be throwing all sorts of other material in with the recyclables.
It wasn't that long ago either that in terms of the bottles, you even had to separate the colored bottles, brown ones and green ones, from the clear ones.
That's right.
So this is how far we've come.
Yes, we have. That was in the olden days.
Okay, so now these are all items that can go. We have magazines, we have newspapers, we have cardboard. These can be a problem, correct? A lot of folks use the single use water bottles and then just toss them away, and that's not very good.
Well, tap water is perfectly accessible, but as long as that we want them to recycle these and we want them to throw the cap, we want them to make sure that these bottles are empty. They throw the caps or lids into the trash, and I want to show you this bottle.
Yes.
You notice it has quite a bit of water in it.
Right.
And it also has the cap back on it. When this goes to a facility like Re-Community, it's going to go along a sorting line, and there's some machinery that's going to sense this, and it senses it as being something other than a plastic bottle because of its weight. This will end up in the garbage. So the well-meaning person who said, oh, good, I'm putting this into a recycling bin, did not realize that the bottle should be empty, cap or lid in the trash.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, what should we not put in together with the items that are acceptable for single stream?
primary example right here is a plastic bag. Plastics wreak havoc, plastic film bags, I should say, wreak havoc with the recycling processing equipment. So it's that they are a no-no. There's one exception in our curbside program. They may be used, clear or translucent bags may be used for shredded paper, but they must be tied shut, only in the MUA program. And something else that's a real problem, Joe, is that occasionally people will get maybe free newspapers in bags like this, and they toss the whole thing into the recycling bin, and hence we have, again, more plastic. So the newspaper is perfectly acceptable. These, however, cannot be recycled through the municipal curbside programs or in their roll-offs at their depots, but people can take them back to supermarkets, where most supermarkets have bins where these can be put, and then they will be recycled. But not they shouldn't go into the curbside bin or at the municipal depot.
Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, we mentioned to you that at the end of this segment, we'll give you the address for the Municipal Utilities Authority website, and all of this information is on the website, which I believe is mcmua.com. But we'll give that to you again at the end of the program, because I know this is an awful lot to absorb. Now, one thing that our viewers should know is that the MUA was recently honored by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection with an award. What can you tell us about the award? What program was recognized?
Well, I'll answer that question, but there's something I forgot to say earlier, so I do want to mention this. And that is that Morris County, by the way, was had the third highest recycling rate in 2011. We were preceded only by Cumberland and Gloucester counties.
So the third highest of all the 21 counties in New Jersey.
Yes, yes, and so that means we were even higher than other northern counties and our neighboring counties. So we're very pleased with the fact that that's happening, and we want the progress to continue. Now, the award that was given recently was an award. It was in the education category, and it was for the 25 recycling awards dinners that the MUA has hosted since 1988. And
the MUA is hosting another awards dinner, I believe, in April of 2014. Is that correct?
April, yes. Oh gosh, is it April 14th, April 11th?
April 14th.
April 14th.
Friday, April 14th.
Thank you.
Where is it going to be?
Okay, it will be at the Hanover Manor in East Hanover, and it will begin at 7:30 in the evening. And the theme this year is highly caffeinated recycling.
Okay, and again, that information also is on the MUA's website. Any particular projects? I know one of the things at the dinner is that the MUA recognizes individuals, businesses, organizations for their efforts in recycling, reuse, waste reduction. Any project or two over the years that stand out that you would like to tell us about?
Well, there are so many, but I love to give publicity to the Morris Habitat for Humanity Restore, because they are accepting materials that can be reused that otherwise might go to landfills, and they are earning money that can then be used to build Habitat for Humanity homes. So that's a wonderful project, but all the projects are great. However, I must mention that in 1999, Gary Anderson, who created the recycling symbol that is on this container, was an award recipient, as was Willie Cole, who's a local artist who has art on exhibit in major museums in this country and elsewhere. And they were there in 1999, and they were back with us this year in 2013. And to have two people who have contributed so much, one from here and one from elsewhere, but one whose symbol is absolutely iconic. Very, very exciting.
Yeah. And also, I know over the years you've honored groups, organizations ranging from Girl Scouts and Brownies and to high school students to various individuals who have made a contribution. So if you have any ideas for recycling, reusing, reducing waste, you could probably forward them on to Penny Jones, I assume, correct?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Yes.
Right.
And also, we talk about things that are recycled, and
what happens with the end product of these items? And here's an example.
Well, thank you, Joe. Yes, and this bag is made of 99% recycled material. It is made from #1 PET plastic, which is what this water bottle is made from. And the carabiner on it, that's made of metal, is, I believe, 100% recycled aluminum. And so I want our audience to know that their recycling efforts really do evolve into, they materialize into something that's very practical and very wonderful.
And when Penny held up that water bottle, she did mention that it was a specific kind of plastic that is acceptable for recycling. And again, that kind of information is available on the Municipal Utilities Authority website. And I'm going to give you the contact information right now. First of all, the website address is mcmua.com. If you would like to reach out to Penny Jones, our recycling education specialist, you can do so at 973-285-8395. You can email the MUA at info@mcmua.com. And you can also follow the Municipal Utilities Authority on Twitter, twitter.com/MCMUA. Penny Jones, thank you very much for being with us today.
You are very welcome, Joe. Thank you.
Now, if you have a question about Morris County government that you would like to have answered, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office at 973-285-6010. Visit the county government's website as well. That's morriscountynj.gov. Once you're there, why don't you sign up for the county's electronic newsletter? And you can also take advantage of the many social networking sites that Morris County has. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, view past programs on YouTube, check out photos from various county government events on Flickr, and browse through county government documents on Scribd. I'm Joe Garifo. Thank you very much for being with us. Tune in again next week at this time, won't you, for another edition of Focus on Morris County.